Winter's coming. It's time to do an oil change on your outboard engine. I'm going to show you how to change the oil on a 4-stroke Mercury outboard. 90 horsepower. It's good for the 75 and the 115 as well. Follow along. Okay, here's a list of materials for today's engine oil change. We've got a grease gun to grease the prop shaft. We've got a 1/2-inch inside diameter hose. That's to run the oil from the sump on the engine down into the catch basin. Just not spill it all over the floor. We've got our Mercury engine oil. We've got a engine oil filter. We're back on the same side of the engine as the drain plug was for the gear lube. Now we're going to go up to this fitting, which is just above it, and that is for your engine oil. So we're going to attach our 1/2-inch inside diameter hose to the fitting and run your hose down into your oil pan. Try to get it to secure there somehow. Yeah, there we go. Try not to make a mess. I forgot there's one more wrench to be used. It's a 5/8, and I should be able to back this off just to the point where oil starts coming out. There we go. There we go. There. I'm just running it down into my oil pan. Next step, we'll take off the cowling and we'll work on the oil filter. So I pop the dipstick to help the oil drain out. Here is the oil filter, and Mercury makes a little plug here. You can pull it out, and you should be able to fit your 1/2-inch hose on it. If you got some more of it, yeah, there you go. Okay, put your 1/2-inch hose and you run that down into your oil pan. So that way any oil that escapes from your oil filter ends up going into the drain. You don't get it all over your engine. Very convenient. Okay, I'm gonna use a strap wrench. I thought I could get it off by hand, but my hands are too greasy from spilling the lube on the ground, so I'm just gonna use a strap wrench to give it a little bit extra. A little bit extra oomph. I would use a oil filter wrench if you got one. There we go. See how there's barely anything in it? It's because it all sinks down into the sump, which is great. We'll get the new one. Okay, this is the old one. Notice the number. This is the new one that replaces it. They look a little bit different inside. Should be equivalent, should work out, should be the same thread. So, put that one on. They have this big rubber gasket on the outside. You can see it. I'm just going to dip my finger in some oil. I'm going to lube it up just to make better contact. There we go. And then on we go. Finger tight. Finger tight if you can get it on. Yeah, it's going well. There we go. Should go on nice and easily. Tighten it down as much as I can with my hand. Actually, it's probably as tight as it needs to go. Okay, tighten it down by hand. I'm going to use the strap wrench, and I'm just going to give it probably not even a quarter of a turn, but just a little bit to snug it down, just a little bit more. If I can get it out without getting everything. Come on. Yeah, a little bit. There you go. Perfect. It's not coming off. Dipstick still loose. Oil still draining. Okay, that's it for the oil filter. I'm gonna let the rest of the engine oil drain out, and then we'll come back. The oil filter drain actually has nothing in it. It worked pretty well. This is the drain for the sump of the engine oil. And as you can see, it's still dripping. I opened up the reservoir for the oil just to let a little air in, let it breathe, help with the draining of oil. It's taking a long time. I'm actually going to disconnect this hose now, let the oil filters back in. I'm going to put the plug, little yellow plug back in. I'm going to try not to hook everything and get it all full of oil with one hand. Here's the plug. Just to plug that little catch that's underneath the oil filter. There. Oil filter's changed. I'm actually going to put the dipstick back in properly right now so I don't forget it. If anyone else has this engine and you take out this dipstick, do you hit your fingers on this every time? Yes, I do. I hope you don't, because it's annoying. It's well in there at least. Oil has finished draining. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my hose. Okay, we're going to take off the hose. And then we're going to tighten down the fitting till it's hand snug. Okay, that's on. Okay, next thing's next. We're going to put the oil back. Just goes in this fill cap at the top. It says right on it, oil. And it takes 5.2 liters. It actually says on the front of the engine, and it also says in the manual, 10W30. And I bought the Mercury 4-stroke specific engine oil for this engine. So, 5.2 liters. Ooh, we gotta go in slow. Okay, I'm gonna dump in the first 5 liters and then I'll come back. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in the, what I think is the last 200 mils. Because it takes 5.2 liters. So I'm going to estimate the last 200 mils based on this bottle, which isn't a lot. And then it's hard to see. Okay, I'm not going to overfill it. I'm just going to put a bit in to see where we're at. I'm going to actually let it sit for a while. Last thing to do is to check the oil level, the dipstick. Pull it out. Yeah. Okay, where is it? Yeah, right there. Perfect. So I'm going to take the boat outside. I'm going to hook it up to the earmuffs, and I'm going to run it for 2 minutes to get the oil to circulate. Then I'll bring it back in. I'll add some more oil if I need to. And yeah, that's about it. Hey, water's coming out okay. Seems to be good coverage. Yeah, all right, start her up. Make sure it's in neutral. There you go. Tail starting. We got water flow. It's not the best water flow in the world. There we go. Okay. That's it. That's all. Thanks, team. Really appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.